a live
nobody
production.
nobody asked you to
Oh,
make
we love
them
you.
noises, you hoe asshole. Making some growly ass noises, ugly ass boy.
Bag started episode 27 with ah.
Ah.
I, I don't look. I never tell Eric anything to take out anymore. I'm just like I'm living with any errors that are made.
Who cares, bro? Like we're gutter, bro. We're straight gutter out here. This is how we work, man. Also, I was thinking last week about how we haven't talked about the trees in a really long time.
Yo, what happened to the trees? For real, for real.
We
It
need
was save the trees, Marky for the trees, and now where are the trees?
Marky for the trees, boy. Like how are the trees on Mount Neocast doing? Who knows? Somebody tell us how the trees are.
Are they at risk still? We knew that it wasn't a permanent solution. What's happening? What's the word?
Wait,
who knows?
You're telling me there was no final solution for the tree?
No final solution on the trees, bro. There was Twitter updated again.
Yeah,
I don't like
did you see the
updates.
fleets?
I did see the fleets, but I didn't see the other. Oh, my no, never mind. I don't know. My Twitter was just being strange. Never mind. I did see the fleets. Yes, I watched yours.
Yeah, fleeting it up. Any way to self-promote, I'm a self-promote.
But anyhow, I tried to open the document, but for some reason, my other Google Chrome won't like show me anything.
That's whack.
It's the city here. I'm kidding.
But anywho, I guess we'll talk about Twitter fleets. But I'll you figure that out, and then we'll do the intro. So Twitter got fleets. Fleeting thoughts.
Stories. It has stories like every other app.
It has stories. A bunch of like medical people were like, I don't know why they called it fleets because fleets is the name of an enema brand.
Ew.
And I was like, well, Twitter is known to be quite shitty.
That's shitty.
They probably had no idea.
No.
But I guess you would have Googled it, though, before you named it, right?
One would hope.
In theory.
But it's just quite funny that it went from like, and this is also, they're trying to steal like Clubhouse's formula, which is that, like, I think I mentioned it last week, or just might have mentioned it in conversation with you. That app that was like, it's like kind of exclusive where like people just talk to each other. Like they go into different rooms and talk. And it's like invite only, or like you have to get like some type of like invite from a different person or an invite from one of the developers. And now Twitter's pretty much like, oh, y'all want to talk to each other, like hear each other's voices? We can do that. And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. I don't want to hear people's voices.
Well, okay, I opened the thing.
Well, if by chance you could be here.
Why does it keep sending me to 11:11? I want to see episode 20. That's the one I want to see.
11, 11, 18, 20. And coincidentally, episode 20 of Insert Name Here, which is this episode right now,
yes,
will be, if you're listening to it on Spotify or Amazon or wherever we are, wherever we are, it would have been posted on 11/20/2020, and it will have been Insert Name Here's 20th episode. I don't know what that means. I think it means we have to go play the lottery on Friday.
Something. But anyhow, we talked about Twitter fleets. Also, I guess this happened after our last episode, or we didn't talk about it last episode, but R.I.P. King Von, rapper, who passed away. Don't know which day, but sometime last week. Things go really fast. I'm sorry, guys. Like, the news just be going and things just be happening. If he would just be passing away and I don't even be knowing, bro, I'd be like, what? Anyway, but apparently he owned his masters, so.
Oh, that's cool.
If you stream his music, that goes to his kids, I guess. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's the only time for people to get into an artist post-mortem. It's literally the only time.
Sir, excuse me, your commentary?
It's not the only time. I mean, other people own their masters too. Not everybody. I mean, like other people own their masters too. But R.I.P. to man. It's really sad to see people die so young. And wasn't it gun violence that?
Yeah.
Which is obviously, it's always sad. I mean, that's stuff that we have to deal with here in our city as well. Talking about gun violence and that sort of thing.
Facts.
So there really needs to be a
What's
new
his-
way of thinking about dealing with violence. Like we're not dealing with it. We're not.
What is it? Boosie, I think, got shot over the weekend.
Oh yes.
What's his name? Benny, I think, is it Benny the Bull? Benny the Butcher? I typed in Benny the Bull. Benny the Bull is, in case you guys didn't know, is the mascot for the Chicago Bulls.
Benny the Bull.
But Benny the Butcher
And Moe.
got shot in the leg in Houston. Boosie, I think, was also in like Dallas. And then what did you say?
Moe
was like from Texas, right?
Yeah, he's from Dallas.
A Dallas rapper that was killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Killed over the weekend. So a bunch of badness happening. It's also like, it's always really weird when we see like Boosie and Benny are like very kind of like popular in our community. So to see them get like shot is kind of like wild. And for like a bunch of like young people, King Von was like really popular.
Right.
We're young, but we're not young like that. So I didn't know who he was.
It's me either.
I only knew his girlfriend because his girlfriend was Asian Doll.
Yeah, I know Asian Doll because I know a lot of anyway, those rappers. But so I guess on to less sad things. What do you want to talk about next?
About how no chin ass
Yo, Michael B. Jordan with at least his chin is not as recessed as like Moneybagg Yo, but he got a weak chin and he was voted sexiest man alive. I don't think he's the sexiest man alive per se, but like I don't think he's the sexiest man alive. That's all.
Yeah, it's.
I think there's so many. When Yahya Abdul-Mateen is walking around on this planet, looking so beautiful and brown, and he's perfect. And yeah, if you watch Watchmen, you saw that thing swinging. So the book. What else can we say? What more is there to say?
Honestly, when I saw that, I was like, "People, are we doing this year? Like in the COVID year, we're doing this." This is
Michael B. Jordan. Like, why? He's not. He's really not. I would have thought he would have gotten it for like one of those Creed years.
Yeah.
But I guess they like to get them when they're like 40. So that's the other thing.
They do like to get them afterwards.
They're like, no, like old men look sexier than like younger dudes. I'm like, it depends, right? I think like some people who already looked good, sometimes they get worse with age because they already looked really, really good. But some people who are not as good get better with age because they didn't look that good. So
that's
and then you end up with situations like Blake Shelton where he just unattractive, and like The Rock when it's like 20 years past his prime. Just kidding. It wasn't 20. It was only like 10. But it was still past his prime though.
Yeah.
If they would have caught him in like 2010, I would have been like, yep, The Rock is the sexiest man alive. But no, and then they got Idris when he was like, I'm like, Idris still looks good, but like
he better.
They could have got him like a few years before that. He was peak. Anyway,
they didn't know Idris then.
They don't.
This is our fill like of junk before the actual stuff because there wasn't really much to cover, but there was stuff to cover. It's weird. The week before Thanksgiving is a weird like political and like news cycle because
especially the year of a presidential election.
Facts. The year of a presidential election, the year of Covfefe. Is Covfefe 19. Anywho, back to the agenda. Megan Thee Stallion, her album Good News comes out this Friday.
Yes, Stan Meg. Oh, we're gonna talk about the Breakfast Club?
Yes, that's where I was, segueing. I got that from that podcast girl, and it cracks me up every time. How you gonna say segu? Anywho, segueing in because Charlamagne went on some huge rant that she doesn't support Black media and that she didn't want to come up to the Breakfast Club, which is obviously the pinnacle of Black media and Black culture.
Okay, but they're not. Let's not like. First of all, isn't the Breakfast Club owned by like Clear Radio, like iHeartRadio, motherfuckers?
Yes, it is.
And then, secondly, Charlamagne is super like he's misogynoid. That's all they perpetuate up there. Like that's all they do. Like That's all they do, bro. Like Charlemagne, like talks shit about black women. Envy is a dumbass, and Angela Yee says like she just enables it. She's like, whatever, it's cool, sound fine to me. I'm just gonna ask people about their sex lives and not act like I have a brain and a college degree. And I'm a really smart, educated woman who could be saying something to my coworkers when they're being literal dickheads, making fun of people for sexual assault, making fun of people for, domestic violence, acting like black women don't deserve to get paid, acting like we're imagining racism, like he said about Marla Negra, like when Monique came up there and they acted like she was nuts. Like when he asked Logic, who the hell raped your sister? Who says that? Like, who says that? My nigga, who says that? That's mad weird, right? And then nobody, we Bodega High, so we haven't fucked with Envy in years. Not that anyone fucks with Envy. Who fucks with Envy? Like who like which normal person who's not an industry person who knows that man personally is like, oh, I'm a DJ Envy fan. Like that doesn't exist. That's not a thing.
They just shut up.
And Angela Yee be out there look like a joke, bro.
Charlemagne knows he loves to walk that both sides area when it comes to like what happened to Megan. I'm like, no. You think you're gonna come up there and you're gonna ask her, did he shoot you?
You think you're gonna gaslight her? And he had that podcast with what's his name? What's that nigga name? Andrew Whiteman?
Yes, he still does.
That man is super fucking racist. Like, I remember back when I used to try to look at that thing, I'm like, bro, I don't like Charlemagne, but I want to see the other side of things. That shit, they even just let him say super racist stuff. I'm like, at least call out your white friend, bro. Y'all be letting y'all white friends get away with a lot of, they be talking real reckless. I be looking at them like, bro, like, my white friends don't talk like that, bro. Y'all weird. Anyway.
That is why I brought up Megan Thee Stallion first, because of her album, because I hope she has a great album release on Friday, even through all of the like whackness that she's gone through the past 2 years to get an album out. And then because Charlemagne was talking shit and I wanted to bash the Black King, as he likes to refer to himself, for not acting like one. Thank you.
Get out of here, Charlemagne, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. What do you like? The Breakfast Club, like, we're beyond the Breakfast Club at this point. The brand has grown beyond the Breakfast Club.
I want to see Megan on Deezus and Mero and Deezus and Mero only. Thank you. If it's not Deezus and Mero, then I don't want to watch it. Thank you.
And then Deezus and Mero had their little Simpsons thing.
Facts, we're on The Simpsons. The brand is brolic.
The brand is out of this world.
Okay. We have a serious announcement, Malaysia.
What's that?
It's very big, serious.
Oh.
Kane trying to show me something with the font -12 for my 2 eyes. We have big news.
Big news.
Big news.
Oh, I'm not even looking at the chat, bro.
There are chats? Oh.
I don't. No.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
Big news. Obvious Nonsense is extremely proud. I'm gonna turn off my Chet Hanks Jamaican accent.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Boyaka!
No.
My name Chet Hanks.
Okay, excuse me. I'm trying to be serious now. Okay. Obvious Nonsense is really excited to announce the Beanbox.
The Beanbox.
Briefly mentioned it, but we're making a quarterly subscription box that's going to showcase Black and POC businesses from around Boston and around the state. It's hella lit. You can go follow the Beanbox on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's legit. The Beanbox.
The Beanbox. And yes, definitely sign up for updates because it's going to drop soon. And you want to be the first to know because it's a limited drop. If you don't get in there early, you're going to miss it. Oh, my goodness. And y'all going to be coming to us like, are you guys, when are you going to have more? Are you going to da-da-da-da-da? And we're going to be like,
quarterly.
No.
What do you think quarterly is? That's what I'm going to say. Quarterly.
We're going to be like, well, you'll never get this specific box again.
Ever.
And that's what we love to do. You know us.
Ever. You'll never see it ever again.
This very special, like, bro, we coming here, people, this was a saga over the last, 3 months?
Yep.
That came together with Alejandra first asking on Twitter, does anyone, I think we talked about it, but
yep.
then Alejandro goes on Twitter like, yo, who wants a Black Boston subscription box, POC, all that stuff. And everybody's like, yeah, that sounds good. So we said, yeah, we gonna do that. And then we did it. And now we're here.
Now we're here. We're launching soon. I'm gonna put in the the email list thingamabob.
Yeah, sign up. Put your email, bruh. Put your emails, sis, and non-binary folk.
The email list will be the first to find out when we're launching. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. Everybody else gonna find out like hours later, maybe even a day later than the people.
Ooh, a day? Whoa, that's a long time. Oh my goodness.
They're gonna have to find out some other way. That's all I know. You gotta have a friend on the email list.
And if you follow the Beanbox, you'll see a post that Alejandro made today about how COVID-19 shutdowns have pounded the Black-owned businesses particularly hard. Okay, that's an interesting quote.
The wording is very interesting. Yes.
The Bureau of Economic Research in California, Santa Cruz, in a report by the National. Wow, interesting. Research at the University of California, Santa Cruz, and a report by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that 41% of Black-owned businesses, that's about 440,000 enterprises, have been shuttered by COVID-19, compared to just 17% of white-owned businesses. Hey, Victoria already put her name on that list. She's ready to get that in. She want to make sure that she has it, because it's gonna sell out, bro. It's gonna sell out.
It's gonna be there, and y'all gonna be sad when you don't get one. It's gonna be fire. Y'all gonna be sad. The products I have in there today, I got one of the shipments for one of the products. It was much bigger than I expected it to be. That means y'all gonna have that shit is worth it.
And I found a thing that we've been talking about that I couldn't find. That was in my kitchen, but I found them, so you can put them in the box. Hopefully, I don't know if it's as many as we need, but anyway.
And then what was I gonna say along with that? Oh yeah, so I put that on my fleets because I've been sharing a bunch of the stuff on the fleets because people see it. It's basically Instagram stories, a different way for me to promote my business. And Shagun, who is the executive director of the Black Council, something.
That's
what'd you say?
Said Beckma.
Beckma, there we go. That's the thing. Excuse me, Max. What do you want? Okay. Kane, please assist. He's trying to escape. Anywho,
you goddamn dog.
Filming in this house, man. Anywho, what he told me was that the number is higher. So that was one of the initial studies that was done. And they're looking at it now being around 50% of Black-owned businesses.
I had a feeling, because I was going to say when you sent me that statistic earlier, I was going to be like, wow, that's almost like most of them. Yeah. And of course. Does that shock anybody that Black-owned businesses would fare far worse in this pandemic that affects Black people far worse in a country that everything affects Black people far worse? We know that.
It's always it's always really, oh shit, I erased it from the thing. It's always really shitty to see because nobody ever believes us when we talk about things like this. No one ever believes us when we say that Black-owned businesses don't get the advantages of loans and grants, or don't get the advantages of getting help. And people are like, no, you just need to apply. But there's research. This research shows that the first round of funding, either a lot of Black-owned businesses just didn't meet the criteria. So either they weren't around long enough, they didn't have a certain number of employees, or they didn't have, their bank wasn't connected to the first so for the first loop of funding for COVID, only a select number of banks received it. Mm-hmm. And then it expanded with the second and third round for COVID, grants and loans. So if you were if you weren't in that first round and you were already probably at risk of losing your business or going under very quickly, and you don't make that first round, you're already at a deficit. You're already losing. And so what this research shows is that a lot of people are just doomed from the get-go, doomed as soon as this Fefe hit. And it's also like research that's shown that like every economic crisis, we are also the first to be hit the most because we have like lack of resources. We don't have the like wealth and the riches that white people have, or the credit, or the like endless amount of money that can be like reached in the imaginary tree and grabbed.
Facts.
It's fucked up.
Just had that conversation today about poverty and yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so Thanksgiving is next week. The holidays are coming quickly, and COVID is not getting any better. Wow, you can see the ring light in my sunglasses. I love it.
I called this episode COVID given, because that's what's gonna happen next week, is people just gonna be
giving COVID.
So just stay at home, like buy a little turkey breast, make some little mashed potatoes. What you can do is use 50% of like an instant mashed potato, buy a few potatoes. You can use Lactate, you can use almond milk, make some, Thanksgiving at home for you. Because if you
Facts.
Grandma might die.
Yeah, don't like we've gone this long without seeing our family, and I know it sucks, but it's like this is not the time. Like I said, this is worse than it was earlier this year. Like we shouldn't. Please don't.
Like we can't go outside like we were before. Like it was, I think, a completely different issue, like thing where we could like go outside, we could eat outside, which is, I don't agree with that much, but we could eat outside, we could like go to a beach, you could be kind of like separated from people but with people. But now it's like, it's cold, y'all can't be like 6 feet apart in like 30-degree weather. It's just not what's happening. So it's about like at this point just being smart, being responsible, like watching what you're doing, maybe not going home, maybe just staying at home with the limited family you have at home. That's just what it gotta be for the time being. And if you don't do that, more confefe. So it's kind of your personal responsibility at this point. Until we have a vaccine, it is your personal responsibility. And even then, probably your personal responsibility.
But yeah, so yeah. Well, I guess there's nothing else to say about that. COVID is still COVID. We're still in a pandemic. It hasn't gotten better. And we need to be, we need to be vigilant.
Responsible. We need to be vigilant. Also, that's like segues us into the fact, that I forgot to write it here, but last week the governor missed like one of the like COVID emergency meetings.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was like, what the fuck? Like the COVID's mad high. Why are you missing any meetings? And per usual, things like with Baker, nothing was really addressed. Everybody was just like, what the F? And he was like, anywho, so COVID's really high. It's all y'all fault because y'all are not following the rules again. And y'all should only go to work and school. But the restaurants are open, the gyms are open, a bunch of places that shouldn't be open are open, and it's your fault if you go to them. It's your
Charlie
fault.
Baker is a joke. Close the state, stupid. Close it. Close it. Like this is why I don't like Charlie Baker. Like this is why I say he's a punk, because he won't be like the Republicans in like Texas, and then when they just like open the whole state and just like whatever, if people die, they die. He won't do that. But he also won't close it down because he doesn't want anybody to say he's closed the state down. So he's just leaving us in limbo, and we're still getting as many cases, and everything's not open. What's the point of that? Like,
ridiculous.
Just close the state. Close it. Close the state. Like, we're in Massachusetts. We have all these hospitals. I think it's okay. Our state can close. Like, we need our state to be closed. They should be doing research and stuff. They don't need us out here. Like, they shouldn't be dealing with, like, the active effects of the pandemic. They should just be trying to figure out, like, cures and stuff.
In which, we have a second vaccine.
Yeah.
By Moderna, I think is the brand.
Moderna, yeah.
They're working on one that, like, is similar to the one that, what's it?
Pfizer.
Pfizer was working on.
Pfizer.
PF
Pfizer.
Oh, yes, Pfizer. That Pfizer was working on, but theirs doesn't need to be cooled as much. Theirs is like -4, while Pfizer's was like -34 or something like that. So theirs might be better. They're both showing like ranges of like I don't what's the term, I forgot the terminology they use, like effectiveness and like the 95% range, which is still me. I like that 99% range. Pero I'll accept it because it's probably just gonna get given to a bunch of old people first. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen, which is really shitty to say. Like, it's gonna be given to old people because it sounds like I want them to die. I don't want you guys to die. I want you guys to live. But you guys need it relatively more than I do. So that's a thing that's happening. It's getting really weird. Like, the more we talk about vaccines and like who's gonna get it first, what's gonna happen, it gets really weird. The fact that they like want to price it, me like, this don't need a price. It need to be free 99. You invested millions of dollars into it. It don't need a price. The government, and pretty much every government, has pretty much decided to like put funding into getting a vaccine. You don't need to charge people for this. Free 99 for Confefe vaccine 19.
This is off topic, but I just saw a tweet about an article from Jacob Ben talking about how Joe Biden is signaling that he doesn't want Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren in his cabinet. And I was that's not that interesting to me because that makes a lot of sense. But a lot of the comments were saying, like, talking about how, oh, maybe he's being strategic because he doesn't want to lose any more senators and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, you could argue that for Vermont, but Massachusetts is not electing a fucking Republican senator. Like, come on, bro. Like, we're not electing, like, this is not like 2012 or whatever year that was with Scott Brown where he like snuck in. That's not gonna be like, that's not gonna happen. Like, we're not in the same position at all. They're like, oh yeah, they have Republican governors. I'm like, Massachusetts always has we love Republican governors. We don't like Republican senators. We don't like Republican senators because our Republican governors don't act like other Republican governors. They act like punks. That's what we like.
Yeah, I saw that and I said, yeah, that's what I expected. That's why Marty Walsh is take him.
That's why Marty Walsh about to be the freaking labor secretary, which is the most ridiculous thing I've heard in my life cycle.
If you're not gonna take Bernie, then take Marty from my hands forever. I never want to see that man ever again.
Oh man, Eric, don't you can't infect the people, I mean, you can't let them infect you, rather. Ooh, hey, how do we help? Do you want? I could go throw African bird pepper in their yard.
I can call you and I can say you must go home, for there is an emergency of the podcast worlds and that you need to go home.
Yeah, I could call you, be like, hey, you have to, hey, and then your friends will hear me shouting on the phone and be like, oh my gosh, Eric, you gotta get out of here.
You have to leave. Whatever's happening, you have to go home.
But yeah,
But yeah, that's happening. Yeah, everybody was like, yeah, well, like Black progressives and others were like, yeah, we knew this was gonna happen, guys.
Bro, who is shocked, bro? I know who's shocked. White people are shocked. Like, why you guys keep being shocked, bro? Like, these people told you
gonna work. Like, they think that way of like politics is gonna work for them.
Eventually, eventually, marginal change will do something, even though it's never done something ever. Eventually, though. Like, when what marginal change has, like, what change really has come over, like, marginally?
Hey, when
I'm pretty sure we fought wars for most things, like, or did uprisings,
Bernie, you go away, you let Biden do his thing, Warren, you go away, you let Biden do his thing. We'll we got y'all. We got your voters. And now they're like, it's just that you're better where you are right now. We have, maybe in a different term you can do this, but right now it's just not what's happening.
It's like, bruh, I'm like I said, like we talked about last time we were talking about the election and whatever. Like, you're gonna lose. There's a whole base of people that you just ignore, and those people are not gonna vote for you. Like, we don't have any. Like being loyal to the Democrats has gotten us what in the past 20 years? Like,
bamboozled.
We don't do. There's no need. So, but on the topic of Marty Walsh again, So he got appointed. The funniest thing I saw this weekend was Marty Walsh getting appointed to a climate change group of isn't it like Massachusetts mayors or something or something like that?
Yeah, it's like a
Mayors climate change.
It's a mayor's climate change like group.
And I'm just like, but Marty, what?
Marty who?
Marty Walsh is interesting.
And
That's an interesting fellow.
It's very funny that this happens after Michelle Wu has been on his ass. I ain't never seen somebody on his ass as much as Michelle Wu has been on Marty Walsh in the city of
He's so tight.
Did you see her in Morrissey? Is it Morrissey Boulevard? Yeah, it's by UMass Boston, where it always like floods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that video of her walking in that she talking about how Boston needs this Green New Deal. I saw that. The people in her, in her circle know how to do a good like emotional appeal.
Facts. I was like, damn, you're right. That's horrible.
That looked like we're about to drown today.
Facts. I hope everybody's always said that, especially as like climate, like our sea levels have risen a lot in Boston.
Yeah, no, we're gonna be covered in water soon.
That's why I don't understand why they put UMass Boston, like they kept it there. But
and then kept expanding and then talked about like dorms and then they don't make sense.
But yeah, so Michelle Wu, the Wu train, got some pressure on Marty.
Wu train clan.
In a week, we get like some climate change stuff that he says he's going to do, the commitments he says he's going to do, this group he's in now.
Watch it be like bike lanes. And they're going to be like, that's not, He better commit to keeping them trees on Melnea Cast. That's what he needs to commit to.
Hashtag Marty save the trees.
Marty save the trees.
Hashtag Marty save the planet. Hashtag
Roxbury trees.
Hashtag I don't know what else. But I just thought that we have to start like a weekly segment on our podcast about the funniest thing politically we saw all week.
Yeah. Oh, also, you didn't even put this on here, but there was a slight update in the national election.
Ooh.
Because Donald Trump accidentally tweeted that Joe Biden won that day. He was like, Joe Biden won, but it was illegal. Like he basically was like, he won illegally. And everybody's like, so he won. You're saying that he won because before you were saying that he did not win. You're like, no, but they didn't count the votes. Like, what do you, sir? Like, just give it up, my guy.
He's cooked.
Let it go.
We also haven't really seen him, which is really funny. He's been like MIA ever since he got Covfefe.
Yes.
Like, you even alive?
What the heck? Ken, why are you sending YouTube links as if we're not on a fucking stream? Sir, explain it.
It's a song about trees. Jack Black.
Oh, did you see Jack Black? Oh, you sent it.
I sent it to you. Anyway,
okay, then I bring this question to the people watching. Did y'all see Jack Black dancing to WAP? If you didn't, go look Jack Black and WAP. It's a TikTok.
It's a TikTok, yeah. And all the little kids on TikTok was like, this ruined my childhood. I was like, but Jack Black is Jack Black. Didn't he always do that? Like, did he always do weird stuff like this? I'm pretty sure he did. But I guess like they're it's like they only know him from School of Rock, so
yes, facts.
That's why.
My eyes, Jack Black, me.
And me like, look at him.
He's old. He's like old too. He's like not old, but he's old enough where he was doing moves that he probably shouldn't have gotten up from with that stomach.
But Jack Black has always been.
Yes, he's been a movie man.
He's always had the body of someone who's too old to be doing whatever he's doing.
That is correct.
True. Yeah.
Cool. What was that? Oh, my funny thing of the week was Lindsey Graham making some like press conference about like how he talked to some voter like people in like Georgia and another state, and they were like, I ain't talked to no Lindsey Graham. No, I ain't do that. So now the ethics committee is going to look into him potentially for him doing that because he was trying to pressure these people to throw away votes.
He should resign. Lindsey Graham should resign. Also, it might be treason. So also, did you see the news? Somebody, I don't know who reported it, but they were talking about how like Joe Biden just wants to move forward and he doesn't want to prosecute Donald Trump. And I'm like, this is it. again, expected. We knew, but this is exactly what we mean, bro. This is what we mean when we talk about privilege and talk about like people not being held accountable for their actions. Like this man continuously committed crimes, like just straight through this entire 4 years. Just committed crime after crime, shamelessly in front of the world. And they're like, no, we have to move forward. No, we can't move forward until we reconcile the damage that man's done and part of it is being honest. He like if y'all believe in our democracy, which I only semi do because I don't know, but like he deeply threatened that system. If you believe in that system,
See, this is why we'll never get our, Chilean or South African, truth and reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
Yeah, sure.
Reconciliation.
Okay, English is hard.
That's your girl, Kayan. Why she talk like that, bro? Is he?
Exactly. Anywho, we can never get those things because people just want us to like just move on, move forward. Everybody's like, we'll just move forward from this time period. We'll forget what happened.
No, we won't. No, we won't.
Did we not have a whole conversation after World War II where we were like, we shouldn't forget?
Never
we'll
forget.
Never forget.
Yo, you know what's fun? They just want to forget because all their parents still love Trump. That's why they want to forget because their uncle still loves Trump and they got a son who's radicalized who still loves Trump. And they got like, I'm like, those people are still racist as hell. And those people are the people who made my life hell before Trump. So what's up with it? Like
before, after, during, like it don't change.
What's up with it? Like y'all just enabling people. Y'all want to be comfortable. Y'all don't want to have to call out your own family members. Y'all don't want to have to call out how you benefit from, white supremacy. Like it's sad. Like it's really sad to be that weak.
That's sad.
It couldn't be me.
That's sad. So sad.
That's sad. And it's upsetting me and my homegirl.
Period. Anywho, moving on. Oh damn, we got bad things for the next few topics. Okay, so Trial 4, which is a documentary, which is covering Sean Ellis and a few other cases from around Boston. A man was wrongfully convicted of murder for a
Boston police officer in Sean Ellis's case.
Facts.
A Boston police detective. He was there till 2015. He got convicted in 95, I believe.
Yeah, it was like 22 years, I think, was what I read in an article. 92. So we'll be watching it probably, I don't know if I texted Malaysia that, but maybe next week and we'll do a coverage for it because I don't think there'll be any major news stories next week.
Yeah,
so
I doubt it.
So we'll probably do a little coverage of that if you want to tune in next Wednesday at 8 for a coverage of Trial 4, which somebody on Twitter was like, it wouldn't be a documentary.
A documentary.
If you don't know, and many of you won't know this, my mom says documentary as documentary.
Like who's
it's quite hilarious. So we say it like that sometimes. But yeah, we'll do a little we'll do a recap of it and see what's happening. Oh yes, but somebody said that it wouldn't be a Boston thing if you didn't recognize somebody. And I said, I can't wait to see it.
Yo, my mom was like, "Oh, that sounds familiar." I'm like, "I'm sure you heard the story."
Thanks.
You don't know when I tell you about it, and she did.
I was like, especially from that time period, it must have been like a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean,
a police officer. Whew.
And it's
we gonna watch it though. We gonna see.
And Boston was a very different. It was a
facts.
Most of the people watching here know, but it was a very different world in Boston in 1993 and 95 in those times. So
that was that's a different city. That's a different world to the Boston we have now. High key. So we will watch, we will see, we'll report back, and you guys can kind of
shout out to Saleya for suggesting we watch and talk about it.
Yes, our lovely friend Saleya. And so talking about kind of like overturning cases and stuff like that. Rachel Rollins, Suffolk County DA, is moving to vacate more than 100 remaining convictions tied to the tainted lab cases.
But that's lit.
So that's good for all those people because those were cases that the former DA, Dan Connolly, was like, no, because there was like a certain amount of cases that like the DA could choose to be like, no, these shouldn't be overturned because blah, 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 like our own evidence or something. So she's moving forward to get those 100 plus cases like overturned, which should be hopefully a relief for a lot of people that were like wrongfully convicted of bullshit by these, like, and it's two. I know people only think of the one South Asian woman, but it was two, like, women that were involved in this. And
Was it?
a lot of the ones we know about is from, like, that main woman in the documentary. Don't know her name, don't care to say her name,
Don't care about her.
and then there's a second woman as well that is less known, and, like, less of her cases have been overturned. And I think that's the focus of this a lot more, is to, like, both of these, like, women that tainted a bunch of evidence getting those convictions overturned.
Didn't one of them go to BLA or something?
I don't remember.
I don't know why I feel like that, but I think, yeah, anyway.
I'm gonna say I hope not, and I hope no. That's all. I'm gonna hope not. It's still mad funny to me that she was, like, doing drugs and, like, tainting a bunch of, like, drug, like, things. I mean, like, girl, like, I know drug addiction is horrible, but damn, you really fucked over, like, hundreds of people.
And I think it tells you a lot about what folks mean to the world once they become involved in the justice system, because people probably, like, a lot of these people still don't even think twice about the fact that, you know, these people wrongfully convicted, spending years in prison, that's harmful, and that's, you know, something that deserves, like, retribution, in the sense that, like, you know, so there should be reconciliation for that, like,
years in prison, like, stuff on your Corey, which is, like, even if you were, like, really young and they said you could seal it, a lot of stuff never gets sealed or expired. Like, so much stuff, so much harm these women caused to hundreds of mainly Black and Latino men in the state. And we're still, like, in the process of giving these people just the vacation of the conviction. Like, that's all we're, like, getting those cases, like, those convictions off the record. That's all at this point we're doing for them. Not anything else, not anything to, like, say, oh, I'm sorry that, like, this shitty person really might have fucked up your life.
Yeah, like, and then yeah, it's ridiculous. So also the police overtime hearing happened.
What wild. I heard. I didn't watch it. I'm gonna tune you on to something real quick. Me and Malaysia, sometimes we'd be watching hearings. A lot of the times we don't. You know why? Because people on Twitter usually recap it for you perfectly.
They recap it really well. We have a lot of good friends out there who be watching that stuff, and they tell us. And then we read articles, which is way quicker than watching.
Because I don't want to ever watch those meetings, because having sat in, like, tons of them at this point, they're a waste of time. So in conclusion, what we learned was that the police are working ungodly shifts, like 17 plus hours. Basically, they're working shifts that you don't want anybody working, because we know how dangerous it is for people to work, like, past, like, 12 hours.
Let alone a police officer with a gun and a car and a baton and a taser and whatever the fuck else they have, and the power to arrest people and the power to do things like commit crimes and get away with shit. So, yep.
It's always great to hear that, that the police, that somebody could just have been driving around or, like, patrolling the streets for, 17 hours.
No wonder.
So good inside.
No wonder they be so afraid of everything, bro. Have you ever been awake for 17 hours straight? I have. Trust me. You get a little nervous. Things start looking like other things, my guy. Like,
you start seeing smoke. One time I stayed awake for a very long time. I can't remember when. For me, it's like I can count them on, like, my hands. But one time I saw smoke and I said, I can't stay awake this long. I'm seeing things. So imagine a police officer, man, they be seeing guns. They be seeing braids when they should just be seeing, like, a freaking fade. Like, who knows what they see?
They say, you look like Kevin. Are you Kevin?
Are you Kevin?
I'll never get over it. I hope I see that man again. To say, I'll go up to him and say, are you Kevin? See if he knows. I know his name. I know his whole name. I'd be like, what up, Zach? Are you Kevin? It won't even make sense. He'll be mad confused.
He probably already forgot. He's like, Kevin. No,
he pulls up the video. It's still on that Dean Samiro Viceland show.
Are you Kevin? Is this you? Pulls up then the TE video.
He pulls up the TE. Oh, is this you? I remember you told homie that you learned about not profiling people. Anyway.
Then right after, is this you?
Are you Kevin? Nah, anyway.
But yep, overtime hearing was wild. There was also a hearing on the Mass Ave and like all that last night. It was like 4+ hours long. They didn't barely gave the like residents any time to speak or give testimony, which is always what you want to hear from a hearing, is that they didn't let the public actually speak to the like full extent. It was like 4 hours of them just like showboating and being like, "This is what we've done," and even though like what we see is that you're not doing nothing.
And I have something I gotta say, like, bruh, like, man, if the shit don't work, like, you gotta do something different. Like, if shit is not working and people are not supportive and people are saying it's not working, you have to do something different. Like, you have to. Like, you can't just be like, oh no, but I liked it. I thought it was good. But if they said it didn't work, but the people you know you did it for, they said it didn't work. Like, this is some bro. As much as conceited as I am, as much as I love myself, if I'm doing something for somebody and they tell me that their needs were not met, you know what I do? I say, oh shit, I guess I better do it again. I guess I better figure out a way to make sure their needs are met. What I don't do is be like, oh, but I did it. But it was, you know, I tried really hard and, you know, it was good. I liked it. I thought it was good. Like, that's not supportive at all.
Yes, we thought it was good from our offices, our town cars, our freaking security. Yeah, but we didn't when we saw people ODing on the sidewalk. We didn't when we see needles everywhere. We didn't when we see needles in freaking parks next to little kids.
That doesn't answer our needs. And even if you're, for instance, from the community, if you're in a position where you're not resolving problems of your community members, then you're going to get the work because you need the work, because you need to be why aren't you doing what you're supposed to be fucking doing? Like, that's the question. And people are real, like, are they nervous to say it? Because me personally, I don't know. Like, if you're not doing your job, then you can shut the fuck up. Like, and you can be quiet until you're ready to do your job. And if you want to speak, then people are going to have some things to say to you because you're not fucking doing your job. And I don't know, like, somebody gonna see this and they're gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. So there's no need to even clarify.
There's just my clarification will come from the fact a lot of people in the city like to cap. They like to cap for the offices they work for. They like to cap for the organizations they work for. They like to cap
on Twitter. They like to cap on Facebook.
They
like to cap for a check.
And they'll tap for, you know, you can finish that in a different. That'll be the adult.
Exactly. Also, I still got that diss track for Wendy coming out.
Facts.
Wendy, lucky I don't remember what her Twitter name was anyway, but Wendy could get the work. I only know her name was Wendy. And she was trying to sow division. I know what I could find her easily, but I won't. She was trying to sow division, trying to talk about, like, I'm like, Wendy, mind your own. If you want to support Black women, mind your own, Wendy. We don't need you talking about the 14th Amendment. We know that Black men got the right, quote unquote, got the right to vote before Black women. Because let's be clear, no Black person for sure, even up to this day, but we'll say no Black person for sure had the right to vote till the Voting Rights Act passed. So, as you know, we can talk about misogynoir, but that's none of Wendy's white business. So.
But yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff going on. Whenever these hearings happen, funny stuff be happening.
Victoria saw Wendy.
I didn't see Wendy. A lot of funny stuff happens whenever these hearings happen. Whenever these things happen, you see people just doing stuff that you're just like, why don't you just stay out of it? A lot of people get into mess they don't need to get into in Facebook comments, on Twitter comments. Like,
just don't say it. See, that's the other thing. And the other thing is, if I do something fucked up and I know it's fucked up, right? You know what else you could do? Just not speak. Just shut up. Just don't speak. You don't like it's especially easy when it's like you typing like a comment because you just don't have to. Just don't. Like, you know, when you pick up your phone, you open to type. Don't do that. Just don't put your phone down. Close the phone.
So you open your phone, you go to notes, NOTES, and there you can jot down your feelings and leave it. Thank you.
And then you can text it to your best friend and y'all could laugh, and then nobody else has to know. Nobody else has to hear, like, because
I could Kane said, damn, y'all took y'all sunglasses off. I could not see. At a certain point, it was so dark in my brain, I was getting sleepy. I said, this is unacceptable. We tried to wear sunglasses because we thought it was a fun little shtick. I could not see after a little bit.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. But
Malik
now
is much better at wearing sunglasses inside. Me, after 10 minutes asleep, I'm a narcoleptic pretty much. I should probably go to a doctor. If you put, like a parrot, you put something over my eyes, I'm asleep.
Yeah, I know what that.
You are like a parrot.
She's a bird.
Oh, and then one last horrible thing. A Guatemalan man was arrested outside of one of the MPTA stations in Eastie. And local authorities are trying to find out more about why he was arrested. But ICE is still out there. ICE is still out there during Kofefe, trying to arrest innocent, just people living their lives. Like, homie was just going to work, and was just arrested, stopped and arrested, and taken to wherever the hell he was taken to be held. So great news before Thanksgiving.
It's wild that they're arresting people during COVID, knowing that it feels like genocide, to be honest. That people are gonna get COVID in these tight situations, and you don't sit and they don't deport them very fast half the time. That's the wildest part about about ICE arresting people, is that they don't deport them immediately. They just be like, I'm gonna just detain you for a long time and put you in prison.
Was when they would detain you in a different state, they would arrest you here in Boston and then take you to Texas, because for some reason they just always assumed that you were Central American and or Mexican. So they were like, yeah, we'll take you to Texas, and from Texas you gotta figure. Usually what happens is you gotta figure it out. Your family has to pay. Somebody has to pay for you to fly out.
I'm like, or, bro,
dump you. But
bro, you could have just left me here if that's the case. I was chilling. I was paying taxes probably, and not getting any benefits from it. So there's that. Also, if you see an ICE agent, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but you know
what to do.
But yeah,
block.
At the very least, make sure you post it on social media.
Mm-hmm. Catch them. Always catch them in their act, because states like ours, cities like ours, like to act uppity, and ICE can't come up all up in here. But guess what ICE does frequently? Come up in here, comes and takes people, comes and takes families, rips them apart. Can't even keep our backs turned for 1 second before ICE is trying to take innocent people away. And this man might have had it says he was arrested in 2010 for something unclear, because it's always unclear when it comes to immigrants. It's every other case they'd be like, oh yes, he was arrested for this and this, and suddenly when it's ICE taking somebody and we don't know why, it's oh, he had an arrest warrant. Everybody, why? Them. Oh, we don't know. Oh, so you knew to look him up and knew he had an arrest warrant, but you don't know why? And this was something from 10 years ago. Imagine something from 10 years ago, living with the stress of something from 10 years ago on your life like that. Right. This man just going to work and then get stopped by ICE.
Fuck ICE, bro. Abolish ICE. Abolish ICE.
We don't need ICE. ICE can go away. The only ICE I need is ice cubes, ice chips, iced tea, ice cream. Ice cream.
Yeah, we still need Ice Cube, even though we having some beef. It's okay. We still love Gorillas in the Mist.
We can still be vibing, We need to watch Are We There Yet,
Do we? Do we?
Do Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Huh? New? You said no. No thanks. Also, no thanks to the original movie, TBH. I didn't even like the original movie. When I was a little kid, and the movie came out, I said, this doesn't look good. Also, it seemed like a Spy Kids ripoff, so I didn't like that either.
And it had a lot of the cast from Spy Kids.
That's probably why.
So, yeah. Taylor Lautner is not even in the movie. Whack.
Oh, he's so. Never mind. Anyway,
So that's all I gotta give you is that Carol Lautner's not in it. Also, for some reason, I always thought the girl that was in that movie was the girl from Spy Kids.
No, I think we had this conversation, and Alexa Vega is like way older than that girl.
Yes,
She's
know.
like a good 10 years older than
That's
that girl.
Issue.
That woman who's an adult now.
Lava Girl. For some reason, and Malaysians always told me it's not her. I thought it was Alexa Vega.
Oh yeah, it's not her.
But my brain does not separate them.
Yeah, it's like a Mandela effect almost.
It's like I swore that was
like
her.
the Bernstein Bears.
I have watched Spy Kids. I've watched Spy Kids 1, 2, and 3. I understand that it's not the same person. My brain does not. But that's what I got is that Shock Boy and Lava Girl 2 coming out. They're parents. They're all grown up now. Shock Boy is not the
Who asked for this?
Not me.
Who asked for this?
Who
was it? Like, yo, call in if you asked for this, bro. Call in right now. I'm not seeing any phone calls. I'm not seeing any calls.
It's up at 1-800 bitch you crazy.
Fuck Shark Boy and Lava Girl. They're like that's too long. No, it's fine. Just keep pressing numbers.
Ice, and I agree with that. I agree with Margaret.
Smirnoff Ice.
You thinking
how Dr. Evil got drunk off of Smirnoff Ice?
You know how many versions of ice we need, except the one that
arrests people.
Me like ice. The best part is okay, sorry, tangent, but y'all need this. I'm watching I was gonna say Grey's Anatomy. I'm watching what's that show? Bones? Yeah. Couldn't remember. I'm watching Bones, and homie said he said ICE, and I said, what's ICE? And I said, Booth, why don't you just say ice? He was threatening to call ice.
I mean, it was new. Ice was like brand new when Bones came. When did Bones come on? 2006. Ice was created 2004.
I was like, why is he calling it this? I was perplexed. I was like, ICE and me. What government agency is ICE? Me. First of all, I'm stupid. Second of all, this show mad racist. One day we'll have we should have our top 10 favorite racist shows because there are
I like westerns, so I think my top 10 I got more than 10 favorite racist shows. They're all racist. Every show, listen, every show is racist. You go back and watch shows, you're like, what the fuck? What? Okay.
Ooh, Jordan said
Star Trek though is definitely
watching Angel and Buffy. First of all,
I love
both shows. Mainly, there's a scene in the first season of Bones where it looks like he's doing the face where he's gonna turn into Angel, like when he turned like the vampire-ish self. Mm-hmm. And I said, did he forget how to turn off the vampire acting? And Kane was like, I bet they told him to make the angel face as he threatened somebody. Because that's what it looked like. He had him like pressed up against the wall, and he was like,
I like Angel. Actually, I like Angel up to like what, season 3?
Facts. Then they ruined it. Just like Buffy. Buffy was really good for the first like 2 seasons, and then they were like, yeah, quality is not something we love.
Joss Whedon is he's very loose with the quality of things. He like when he's doing well, he's doing really well. But when he does bad, you be like, what the? I can't stand this.
Me and
like Avengers, the second one.
Doing swell?
Like the second Avengers.
Are you and your people doing swell? Doing swell now? Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding.
You will be very sad to hear this.
Oh man. One day.
Also, another off topic is that we'll have to discuss the like Avengers series one day, because I went on a rant yesterday, while I was driving Kane to get his COVID test, and I was like, I've already forgotten the whole series because they ruined it so much to me with that last movie, and that I've now erased it from my mind. Besides Thanos moving his soup.
His soup! You knew I was gonna talk about the soup. Yo, Thanos at the in the beginning of that and Gabe, he just wanted to make his soup. They bust up in there while he was cooking the soup. He just got his little hood on over his pot.
Hey yo, Malaysia. I told Alejandro he was eating sancocho.
He was just he probably just put everything that was in his little ice box because he don't have a refrigerator. That was a little hut. He probably have he just had a block of ice that he put over a hole probably, and he just put everything out. He said, it's soup. You can put anything in there. He stir up the soup. Thor come in. Where the Infinity Stones? And then Thanos, he gotta be gangster. He gonna be honest.
Hold on, my friend. I just made sancocho.
He's like, I don't got this here, so maybe you should just head out the door. Would you like some soup? And then Thor said, "Slack." All the man wanted was some fucking soup, bro. He just wanted to eat his fucking soup and chill. He just killed his own daughter, but you let him relax, like.
Jesus Christ, can you let me relax?
Won't you ever think about the murderous Nazi that kills the entire half of the universe? Like, why won't about his feelings?
About his sancocho.
That's all I had. We gave y'all 10 quality minutes of random topics because there was good quality topics for the whole show. And this is what insert name here is about. This is what
we're all about. Yeah,
quality. Like I said, the Beanbox. Go follow it. Go like it. Engage with the things. Give me little hearts, little fire. Leave comments. Be like, this is cool, so that more people can see the post because Instagram is whack and Facebook especially are whack. So they'll hide your post even if people are following you. Yeah,
they really want you to pay. Also, if you haven't liked our page, one of us is about to send you an invite to like it. So don't act all like.
Facts. Don't fret because Kane about to send you an invite to go like the Beanbox, right?
Yup.
To all your friends.
Yup.
So tell your friends about it.
I already did on the league chat, so you motherfuckers who are on it who haven't seen it yet.
Whack. Gear.
Yeah.
Whack. Wade D is whack.
Anyway, it was nice to speak to you, our viewers who we love. We're gonna head out for this Wednesday. See you next week. We'll be talking about Trial 4. If you want to, hear our views and talk about how the Boston Police suck, about Boston Police, and and they're coming for me. So don't even y'all gonna know what happened when something happened to me.
Gang numbers getting up higher.
We're already. They got me on there.
It's going to say Malaysia. Parentheses or
street name Malachi.
Malachi unique. Mine's just gonna say Alejandra, unknown street name.
They're like, yo, what do they call her? Oh, I heard they call her the plug.
They say that one of the aliases they got is Malachi and the Plugs, but I don't know who the second plug is.
Apparently, they got that nickname from an OG in the street. Yo, I wish he was watching right now. But anyway, bye. Have a nice evening.